Oh yeah, it was only ice storm for a day or so, but it was it just stayed cold for a very long time. So it took a long time for that 1 inch to melt, and it wasn't really snow; it was more ice storm. So it was like driving on ice. But yeah, it's I don't know. It was really cold again last night. I think I was up at like 4 a.m. for a moment, and it was like 19 out. Yeah, I think I heard that Jeff Kidd was posted something on Facebook saying the same thing that his dog's water dish had frozen. We're supposed to get up into the 50s today, but it's into the 40s right now. It's actually warmed up pretty quick. So I don't know, maybe into the low 60s tomorrow, and then we got like another cold front coming in. I think on Tuesday. I like the fact that we get varied weather here in Texas. You don't get snow that like sticks for a month or 2 months or anything like that, but we do get occasionally, and it's fun for a short time. But I'm glad that I can be out and about now. I was basically stuck in my house for what 4 days almost on my last weekend. So on that last day, it was actually nice to get out and go around and do stuff. Okay, I gotta entertain my audience here. Bite. Hey, Janine. Let's see, let's pull us a little closer here. Makes it easier for me to read the screen. I actually want to see what the snow looks like here. I was hearing about it. Let's take a look at it here. Okay, I guess it's just cold. All the snow is up Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois, Missouri. I guess it looks like there's a nor'easter brewing off shore here. No, I haven't done any more on the kitchen cabinets yet. We're that was I shot that video on Wednesday, the last day of my weekend, and I spent basically all day doing that. But I plan on taking a couple more down today and doing them. So this is going to be kind of a semi long term project, but it's a great time to have kind of a long term project that may take a few weeks to get finished because I can't work on my outdoor long term project because it's too cold to be outside. But do, doing the cabinets, that's nice. I can go into the garage, and if it's too cold outside, I can keep the garage door closed. And if it's decent outside, like I think it will be later on today, I can have the door open. Oh, it already looks better, John. Hello, Gene. Yeah. Hey, Susan. They'll look nice when they're done, Susan. Well, I think the biggest problem I had concern about it is that I thought the grit tech on there had too much texture and it would look like I just painted over dirt, but it really doesn't seem to be as bad as I thought it would be. I started off buying 3 cans of paint, but I'm going to clearly need way more than that. I went through one whole can just on those 3 doors. I think more than a can, actually, probably a can and a half. Well, and it's also given me an opportunity to retune some of the hinges. The hinges had sagged a little bit, so some of the doors were like this compared to each other. And I got those 3 that I put up looking good now. But I'm gonna have to do all the doors, and then I'm gonna have to come back and do all the background too, all the cabinetry, at least on the outside. I don't think I'm gonna do the inside. And it's not really going to be that expensive. It'll maybe be a couple $100 for the paint, but compared to the thousands that I was being quoted to replace them, I still wish they were higher up, and that may at some point come into play that I'll want to do something about that because I feel kind of claustrophobic because there's that big bulkhead above the cabinet before you hit the ceiling. Obviously, it was designed for somebody who was maybe not very tall. Well, and it's interesting, Susan, the when you actually look up close at the ones that are painted, in addition to like the weathered look in all the crevices and stuff like that, it also looks like the paint cracked over time, and obviously that was designed to make it look old and weathered too. And honestly, even the spray paint, you can see the cracks, and the cracks actually look kind of cool. So the paint filled in the cracks a little bit, but you can still see them, and it actually looks kind of neat on the surface. So don't really have a problem with that. Like I said in the video, it was just the rest of the kitchen is bright colors, and then we have this kind of ugh. It's bugged me every time I've seen it. Yeah, I agreed. And it just, I mean, I'm already kind of a slob to begin with, but it just I didn't like it, and it just looked gross all the time. And I kind of get a point with my slobbiness that I say, okay, it's time to do something about this, and there's nothing I can do about that because it's made to look that way. Yeah, see, I shouldn't have to deal with that though, because paint won't affect the floors, and the floors are fine in the kitchen. That's really tough stuff in there, and it cleans up really nice. So I guess white left probably don't need to be sitting at an angle anymore here. Yeah, it was funny when I tested it that one day on that one cabinet. The paint I had was sort of an off-white color, and it almost exactly matched the color that was there. And I thought, okay, well, maybe just go get more of that. And it's like, no, I don't really like the off-white. It's got to be white to match the rest of the house. But yeah, the three that I've done, they look great. Oh, the thumbnail. Yesterday, I got when you buy a cemetery plot in Texas. I don't know how it is everywhere, um, but when you buy a cemetery plot, at least at this place, you actually get a deed, and the deed arrived in the mail yesterday. So I thought, okay, that's a funny. That'll be a good thumbnail. Yep, no floor problems. in the cemetery themselves, they told me that I would get one, but I was expecting it 8 to 10 weeks, but it's been what 4 weeks, so they got on it fast. Of course, one of the things I noticed, one of the differences I noticed between Texas and California is the bureaucracy doesn't slow things down as much in Texas because it's way simpler to do things. When I do re-registering my vehicle, I have my tag back in a few days. When I had to switch over from California to Texas plates, they just had the Texas plates right there in the office. As soon as I filled out the paperwork, they handed me the plates. In California, you do that, and then you have to have temporary tags for 6 to 8 weeks until the plates arrive in the mail. It's just a lot of these things are just way more efficient, I've noticed. Well, the honestly, the local outfit is just the contractor. The stone itself, I believe, it's being made elsewhere. I don't think even in the United States. I'm told it's Indian granite, so I assume that means it's from India. So it's going to be, that's why it's going to take. Well, they say 8 to 10 months. We'll see. I expected to wait at least a year. Well, the beauty is there's like 3 or 4 grave marker places in immediate proximity to this place. They obviously do a lot of business, and there's enough business to keep 3 or 4 of them going. And this place, I think, has been there since what the 1920s, 1930s. So it's a company that's been servicing this cemetery for almost a century. And so it doesn't surprise me that they would really get into something like this because when you've been doing that for a long time, a lot of the same old gets a little boring. So I know what it's like, when you get to do something a little different. I don't think I'd want it to be 18 inches thick though, Susan. That's the only problem. You have to tear the roof off the house to get a crane in there. But I actually like the countertops I have. They're cool. I didn't think I would when I saw them in the picture initially, but I liked it a lot better in person. I think the pictures I saw, it looked like it was black, but it had all that kind of texture in it that I like. Like I got to keep an eye out for my email. The the monument company is supposed to send me an artist conception drawing of what the thing is going to look like. That's way, way, way in the future, Susan. That would be nice. I'll admit that'd be awesome. Especially if the whole front side was like a sliding door that I could open up and get out of the way so I could have it open if I wanted to. That doesn't surprise me, John. I figured because he was a little bit on the hefty side. So yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I think I was sort of thinking heart too. That is true. That's a good idea because I love the sound of the rain out there on the metal roof. No, no, and the gutter on the patio cover I did myself. Hey, Darth, now it's a party. And we're glad. Works good, works good. I told you I was working on a second video for work. Now we're getting close to the point where we're going to do another maintenance interval at work. And starting the last couple times, well, last time they did one, uh, they started taking one day for like off-site training, where we go out and train the whole department on a variety of subjects, like on one whole day. And this time I get to be one of the trainers. So I got to talk to all four shifts. Going to be training about 80 people at once, and and it turns out that my subject is going to be the subject that was going to be the video. So that's suddenly been shifted into high gear. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I was really concerned about that one because the last video we did wasn't really governed by any processes or anything like that. We have, you know, very methodically documented processes and procedures, and this thing is going to have to. It is governed by one of these procedures, so it's got to be 100% right. And the truth is, nobody's doing the job right, and the process is if we do it that way, people aren't going to like it. So I've had to, shift into high gear and change the process. And that's really, really hard to do. But unfortunately, I got my boss and his boss behind me. And so it actually looks like it's going to happen. With something that may, happen, that may take 6 months to happen. It may happen now like a, in like a week or something like that. So yeah, they can do it fast when they want to. Oh, Bite was out here a little bit at the beginning. He went back to his room. I actually got some rocks a couple weeks ago. Nothing really spectacular, more just kind of examples of things I already had. But every once in a while, Kara's like me. She's a kind of a rock collector herself, and a lot of times she'll get things and then say, yeah, that one's going home with me, and ends up in her own collection. And then every once in a while, she gets stuff and she says, okay, I'm going to, bring these to the store and sell them because I need to make room for new stuff. And so I picked up a few things. Uh, this is just a little piece of apophyllite that I thought was really kind of pretty. I've got a lot of apophyllite, and so I've kind of made it a point that I don't usually buy any more of that, but that was just a fun little piece. And actually got a couple of things of a couple of pieces of apophyllite. I like it too, and she does. And that's sort of the same thing. The green stuff is the apophyllite, and the pink stuff is called stilbite. And so, like I said, I got a lot of that too. And then this is another type of apophyllite. It's called coincidentally blue apophyllite, and I'd never seen any of that before. And she hadn't either, which is the reason she wanted that for her collection. But yeah, I'm going to go down there today. No, I'm going to try and interview her today. Yeah, I talked about it last time I was there and said, okay, next time I come down, I'm going to bring the camera and we're going to do a little interview. So stay tuned for that. That'll probably, with a little luck, go up on Tuesday if everything works out well. So yeah, you're going to finally get to meet Kara. I mean, I was in the shop. I videoed the shop a couple years ago, but I didn't really know them, and they didn't really know me except, oh, hey, it's you again. But I've kind of gotten to know Kara a little bit now in the last few years, and we talk a lot, and so it's going to be fun to kind of talk to her and let her kind of describe. I want to ask her how she got into this and have her show some of her favorite stuff and go through. And we'll just kind of be a little free form interview and see what happens. Yeah, well, that's what I and I mean, I do that sometimes. I did the same thing. I did some free videos for Silo Screams too, and I do the same thing that we do the same thing for her that I do with the Silo Screams videos. It's going to be an ad-free video, so it's basically going to be done as a gift for her. But you can watch it too, right? Well, hopefully get a little business. Definitely tour the shop because there's all sorts of things in there I'd like to show you too. And she's been doing some art too. You might remember a couple weeks ago, she gave me kind of a psychedelic rock that she had painted. And she's got some artwork that's actually really cool too. Well, she doesn't. Yeah, it's a good. I definitely want to talk about how she got into the business, and I don't know if she has any actual real competition in business in the city in the area, because I don't know who else to go to for rocks except maybe like Cameron Trading Company, but that's just kind of the same stuff all the time. There's all sorts of new stuff coming into Kara's shop, into Gallery 11. Well, if you saw one of my last videos, Darth, you saw I began painting the cabinet. Basically, not much has happened since that video because that was Wednesday and that was the last day of my day off. But we're going to hopefully do some more of that today. I want to ask her about that too. I know she's done a little bit of online business with you, and we'll see if I'll ask if any of you see something you want, if she'd be willing to do mail order. I don't know. I would bet you she might consider it. Might be some shipping fees attached to it, but I get a commission on the stuff I buy. I'm not really looking to get anything that way anyway. It's just it's a business I like. I like her. I hope that she can continue doing what she does. And if I can help a little bit, then you know what. It was cold last night. I was up a little bit about 4:30 this morning. It was 19 degrees out. Now it was like 40s before I started the live stream. So it's supposed to get into the 50s and maybe even 60s tomorrow. Yeah, I know. I was just happy to be able to get you two hooked up. Sasha's in the garage in hibernation mode. Yeah, she's been in the garage for 2 weeks now because it's been that cold here, and I don't know for probably at least until the weekend before I'll consider putting her outside again. Want to keep her safe. Meow, meow, meow. He's got to jump here, jump up here first, Darth. But I think he's working on it. He's kind of shifting his weight around like he's going to try. Right? You going to try? You got to give it a shot. You did it earlier. You're not that fat. No, that's sort of the point of hibernation. Her metabolism slows down to almost nothing, and she doesn't need food. Told you. Yeah, I hear that Florida's getting it. Jeff Kidd was saying that his dog water bowl was frozen solid. Well, we're gonna have to do the video pretty fast. The last video took like a month and a half to shoot, but I'm gonna have to do this a lot faster. But like I said, we're going to be using the same thing in that training. I'm not going to actually have the full edited together video, but I could use a lot of the same clips. So I'm going to start hopefully shooting those clips on Wednesday when I go to work, assuming the lines cooperate. And once I get those, it'll be five or six individual clips that eventually I'll tie together into larger clips. No, I mean if I do the Melania thing, I'll probably just wait until it comes out on video. I haven't seen a movie in the theater in a long time. No, I don't think there's going to be a lot of stunts this time. Maybe next time. I don't know. I heard recently it's the best opening of a documentary in what 10 or 20 years or something. I don't know. That's just what I heard. It just seemed like an odd subject for me. I mean, all the people out there to do a documentary on, I think Melania, I don't know. Maybe there's a lot of call for that. Oh yeah. Oh, I guess I did hear something that there were more pictures of Prince Andrew. Okay, man, we need a rest. Well, I guess you know how it works, Bite. When Darth says treat, you get the treat. He's like your biggest fan, isn't he? Can make you work for it now. You got to stretch a little bit. Yeah, see, got to make him work. What are you gonna do about it, huh? Come on, man. It's not going to eat itself. You know what to do. You can hop up on your hind legs. I can't imagine it being something that I would want to watch over and over again. So if I did watch it, it would probably because it showed up on streaming or something. And who knows, you know, maybe I will be able to find it online or something. Under those circumstances, I would probably watch it just to see what it's all about. I never saw Jackie Kennedy, so I wouldn't be able to make the comparison. I don't know. Maybe there's just a market out there for documentaries about first ladies that I'm just not not privy to here. See, that's what you get. Give them his treats, and it's like, okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm out. Back to my room to take a nap. The headstone, yes, I haven't. It isn't engraved yet. I got to figure out. I got to come up with some sort of a quote that kind of summarizes my life, and I got some time to work on that. So I've beaten the mouse. I don't know. I've thought about something involving the vlog, but I'm just excited that this marker is going to be so massive. I think it's going to be 5 feet tall, almost. It's like 2 inches shy of 5 feet tall. I haven't actually checked my email for a while. Email isn't that much a thing anymore, really. Everything's texting now. No, I don't see anything yet. So, nope, not yet. Yeah, that's sort of what I'm thinking too. How do you summarize your life in one sentence or find something that defines you? Hey, La Caleros, welcome back. Today we're going to visit the great beyond. It's funny. I started a new playlist on YouTube for the cemetery stuff, and I called it "Merging with the Infinite." I thought that just made me laugh. In this episode, we merge with the infinite. Yeah, I've heard a couple people say that the book is good. No, no, I gotta spend some time, thinking about that. That would be a heck of a video. Yeah, and I wouldn't mind it all being somewhat humorous in Through and Beyond. That's that's from the Black Hole, isn't it? Yeah, and I wouldn't want to do anything that corny. If it is going to be a joke, it would have to be a joke that maybe not everybody would get. I think those are my favorite jokes, the ones where just leave people scratching their head. Just 6 feet away. That's funny. Yeah, yeah, that was sad about Damon Williams, Wilson. Probably should write some of these down. Oh, you mean like in Wizard Oz? Yeah, I don't know about that. They do have this like laser etching process that they can do that I'm thinking about, and what I was thinking about for the image. It's I got it as my cover photo on Facebook here. Hang on, no, actually, I guess I don't right now, but it would be. Hold on, I'm going to show you the picture. I'm thinking that I would consider using here. Okay, I don't know. I'm looking at the picture now. Maybe it isn't such a good idea. I got kind of a goofy expression on my face, but I was thinking like this picture of me at Meteor Crater. Although maybe see one where it looks a little better or something like that. I don't know. Like I said, I got kind of a goofy expression on my face, so I don't know. Maybe not. Yeah, no, I don't think it. I don't think I want to rip off Jordan. I don't know. Well, but keep the ideas coming. I'm considering many things. Humorous is good. Dark humor is good. Something serious is good. Monty Python quotes. Tis only a flesh wound. That's actually hops from beer. This is an ex parrot. I wouldn't know what that means though, Darth. No, there's one more I haven't visited. There's one called Southern Roots that's here, and I got to go visit them sometime. I love. I visited the other three. They were great. If I do go, I will definitely vlog it. I vlogged the rest of them. There we go. Rocky Horror. There was one point in my life where I could quote that movie beginning to end, including all the music. I wouldn't even be able to do that anymore. Haven't seen the movie in a long time. Not sure about your question, Brian. Just that she's thinking about coming. I think it was, she said early April. That'll be a nice time to be here. Maybe a little too early for the wildflowers, but I don't know. We'll see. Oh, okay. Because I just wanted to get prepared for it in case because I'm gonna have to deal with that at some point, and I don't, there's not really anybody else that's going to deal with it, and I just kind of decided a few months ago, you know what, it's time to get this all behind me, and there's four steps to it. It's a cemetery plot, it's a headstone. Both of those are done. And then I need to figure out what I want to do for the casket, and I need to do my estate. And so that's gonna happen at some point. But it's just time to do it. And I like Waco, and one of the advantages of doing a bunch of cemetery vlogs is I've been to this place a bunch of times, and it's a really nice place, and it's just where I want to be. Yeah, yeah, it's still on. She'll be here in a few months, I guess. I guess they all will. Just a few days, I think. It turns out that my nephew is getting married, and they're going to get married down in Austin. So I don't know. I guess she has connections here in Austin. I don't know if they're moving here or she'll move there. She may move there, but I think maybe her parents or something, um, live down in Austin. So, my sister keeps saying, "Oh, yeah, it's going to be an opportunity for more visits because, Austin's just 100 miles away, so that's not so bad. That's a drive." No, I didn't hear that, Gene. Yeah, that could screw you over on your taxes, definitely. I know, February already 8% of the way through the year. Yeah, maybe Jordan. Maybe we'll be buried with the propellers. No, I wouldn't do that. I've enjoyed them for a long time, and we'll allow somebody else to enjoy them. What's the reason behind that, Gene? Or Gene? Sorry. Just more bureaucracy, probably. At the tone, the time is officially noon o'clock. That's right. Yeah, here at Central Time, it's 12 o'clock. got the two clocks pretty well set. I'm still battling with the cuckoo clock a little bit. It runs a little bit. This time I think it was running a little slow. It takes such a tiny little adjustment on the pendulum to change the time. No, it's hard to. It's really hard to control it. It's a lot easier on the grandfather because the grandfather has a little set screw, and so you can make really minute adjustments and really dial it in. That thing's accurate to about 30 seconds a week. Yeah, I was lucky to be able to know most of my grandparents. My first grandparent died when I was what 16 or 17 or something like that. So I got to know him reasonably well, and my remaining grandparents survived into well into my adulthood. So I got to spend a lot of time with them. Yeah, you're probably right, Gene. Well, you think it should be possible for them to do more, offer more services these days because the mail quantity has dropped so much because of the internet, because of email. I mean, I very rarely send mail anymore. I got a book of forever stamps that I bought like 10 years ago because that's how often I do it. There's just not many things that I mail anymore. Even bills, the bills are paid electronically. I mean, yeah, they mail it in many cases, but that doesn't, involve me doing that anymore. Well, it's not surprising that the post office is losing money. The Waco Post Office Department just bought a bunch of electric mail trucks. So, and those things cost like three times as much as the regular mail trucks. So, I mean, they're just wasting money. And my understanding is the postmen's don't really, the mailmen don't really like it. Oh yeah, most of the mail I get doesn't even make it into the house. Trash can's out by the garage, and I just right in the trash can. Well, I can especially understand not doing electric buses in Minnesota. Well, I can especially understand not doing electric buses in Minnesota. That's the dumbest idea ever because uh, those batteries don't work well in the extreme cold. And if there's anything Minnesota has, it's extreme cold. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think, electric vehicles could be the wave of the future, but they aren't there yet. And, if they get to the point where, they're you know, inexpensive enough that the average people can get them and, have power cells that can be charged up quickly and don't have to deal with some of the problems you do, like, 4-hour charge times and stuff like that. And $10,000 to replace the battery. I don't know. I'm still thinking about what's for dinner tonight. I think I got a pork chop in the freezer. That might be good. Pork chops are good, right? Pork chops and applesauce. Yeah, I just realized that she was also in Beetlejuice. She was Jeffrey Jones's wife. I don't know if it drains the batteries or just makes them less efficient. But I've heard there's problems with them in extreme cold. They don't work as well. Pork chop night, everyone. Is that what we're doing? They are good. Yeah, I was thinking maybe taking a trip to the grocery store after I come back from the rock shop and you know get some essentials, including some meat. I got like some fish in the freezer, but I only want fish a certain number of times, before you kind of need, okay, I need a little something else, something different. I haven't tried pork marinade. I like Stubbs barbecue sauce. Chips, pizza, and taco night. That actually sounds good. Taco pizza, pizza ingredients in a taco shell. Yeah, I guess I've never seen any marinades from them. Just the barbecue sauce. I haven't seen SCTV in a long time. SNL either. Well, that's where I'll probably be going today is HEB. So it's not like I really have much of a choice. I've noticed in Texas, there's like HEB is like the only thing out there. You know, in California, there was Ralph's, there was Vaughn's, there was Albertsons, there was Safeway, there was all sorts of options. It's weird. HEB just kind of took everything. Saturday Night Live hasn't been funny in a long time. I mean, even back in the day, you know, a lot of careers were made on Saturday Night Live. Who's a big name on Saturday Night Live that's broken out of that show and turned into a big career? You know, someone on the category of like John Belushi or Dan Aykroyd, Chevy Chase. You know, there's just Dana Carvey, Mike Myers. You know, it's just not like you don't hear any like big name actors now that start out on Saturday Night Live anymore because it isn't funny anymore. Eddie Murphy, that's another good one. Yes. John Candy, yeah, of course. I was a huge Gilda Radner fan. I guess I haven't seen that one. Okay, yeah, so if it's not memorable, it doesn't count because, you know, all the other names that we've rattled off have been memorable. Don't know who that is. Of course, if that's a recent Saturday Night Live alumni, then, you know, the reason I don't know who they are because I don't watch that. Yeah, see, I haven't heard of either of them. I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old and not that adventuresome anymore. Settling into that same thing my parents did. Oh, everything before, back when I was a kid, that was great, and everything now sucks. Was Steve Martin a regular on Saturday Night Live though, or just somebody who was on there from time to time? I don't remember him being. I guess he was because it was the Wild and Crazy Guys, right? Adam Sandler. That's a recent one, and or somewhat recent, but even that was what 20, 30 years ago. So I wouldn't even be able to tell you the cast is terrible because I don't ever watch the show. David Spade had his moments, but even then, the show wasn't that good. Yeah, yeah. Church ladies, Dana Carvey. Ugh, excuse me. I like Marvelous. Yeah, I mentioned Dana Carvey, and then of course the church lady was Dana Carvey. Dana Carvey was great. Some of the things that he did. I liked him in Wayne's World. He was great in that. Like Eugene. I'm aware of who she is, but not a fan. And she wasn't on. Was she like a musical act on Saturday Night Live? Chris Farley was great. Yeah, and sort of that mid level Saturday Night Live. Yeah, the tarp on the fence was just to keep the light from the neighbor's backyard shining into my backyard, and that's sort of what the flag's for now. Yeah, exactly, Susan. And the truth is, it hasn't really been that big of an issue because it's been so cold out. I haven't been spending a lot of times outside. Yeah, it looks really nice. Haven't seen Ron in a couple weeks. I think she was here like 3 weeks ago. Pops in every once in a while. The girls were here too. No idea how old the fence is. More than 5 years. I know that because that's how long I've been here. Yeah, I like having a bunch of things on the fence. It just kind of makes things a little bit more fun, a little bit more colorful out there. Because I mean, let's face it, the fence isn't very beautiful. In fact, that might be the one of the next like decorating things. Just start putting a bunch of crazy things up there on the fence. I don't think it would make any sense to stain it at this point. It's really weathered. Uh, that is another one of those long-term projects I'm thinking about is replacing it. And when I replace it, I'll end up like weather coating or weather sealing all of it so it'll last longer. Because I don't think any of that happened on this. The totem pole? I don't know. I don't know. I would assume it's mine because the fences are different on all the different houses, different styles and stuff like that. And what's all the way around my house is the same. So it's not like it's part of this person's house and part of this person's house and part of this person's house. It's the same all the way around, which lets me believe it's mine. I think I could probably do it pretty quick with a roller too, John. I didn't see anything about it in the contract. Only if I can have the machine gun nest too, Gene. It would definitely come in handy when the neighbor's light is on in the backyard. I'm sure the machine gun nest could double as a lookout tower. I think I could probably get away with that. Well, see, what I would do is I would stain the pieces before I put them up, or weather strip them or weather coat them before I put them up. And so I could just do that on the ground. What I could do is lay them up side by side, go over the top of the roller, lay them, on their side, and just back and forth, do 10 or 20 of them at a time. And I think that would work pretty quick. Yeah, I'm sure that would go over great with the neighbors, a tank. A little bit, the sprinkler system does hit the fence. I think I could probably adjust that so that doesn't happen. Because if you actually look at the fence, you can see that some of it is discolored from the sprinklers. You can see where the heads are because there's this line going up like this on either side of it. Yeah, I've talked to the neighbors on both sides a few times. The people over here just moved in. It's a young family with a young kid, and I think this one is a young family too with a young kid. So I mean, I'm kind of quiet. I don't get out and interact with the neighbors that much, but if I'm outside and they walk by or something, we'll say hi. I'd be concerned that the that the wood is too degraded for pressure washing. I think pressure washing would just rip it apart. Yeah, if I do the fence, I'll probably replace it. Yeah, the wood is really weathered. It's been out there for a long time. In fact, there's one area over there kind of by where Flash hangs out that I'm going to actually have to replace it because the wood is starting to warp. It's that bad gone. It's that far gone. Not the ones I would have liked to have seen them do. The branches that were actually interacting with the wires are still there. I don't know why. I mean, they they cut branches that were like 10 feet away from the wires. In my backyard and in the neighbor's yard, but they didn't go the ones that are actually laying on the wires. So that's weird. Yeah, probably what I would end up doing would be the same thing that's there. You can buy pallet loads of that fencing material at Home Depot. Probably have to get it delivered, but yeah, if I'm going to order that many, I mean, I can pretty easily calculate what I need, but the yard is 100 feet side to side, so those things are about 6 inches each. So I'll need 200 of those just to go the back, plus whatever's probably another 200 to do the sides, maybe more. That would definitely make sense to have Home Depot do it. I don't think it would be 80 trailer trips. I don't know how many comes on a pallet. I really haven't researched it that much, but I do see that they have pallet loads of them at Home Depot. Meow, meow. I gotta admit, the HOA that I lived in California wasn't too bad. Um, they weren't very intrusive. Yes, they said, okay, you got to paint your house, and everybody's going to do that. But it was getting to the point the house has been there for 20 years. They needed it. You actually expect another treat? That's probably why you're here, isn't it? Maybe a couple, just because Doris said so. Not going to give you as many as last time, though, especially because you wouldn't even jump for them. You're just so ungrateful. You won't even entertain your guests. Well, that's what I said when I moved here. That was one of the conditions of on the things on the list when I was buying a house is no HOA. I mean, like I said, I didn't really have that much of a problem, but I've heard enough about horror stories about HOAs that I didn't think that they were worth the trouble. No, he's not really a TV watcher. He's more about you come to me and you pet me and that kind of stuff. Sometimes he comes out here for pets. Sometimes I go into his room for pets. No, no, he doesn't get up on the lazy boy. He used to. I think he's just kind of getting old. Seems to be more of a struggle sometimes to get up on the couch even these days. Probably something like that, Gene. Probably have to get him one of those cat ramps at some point. No, he's not allowed in the bedroom at night or anytime. I kind of keep that door closed. I don't want cat fur because I can't deal with cat fur. And if he's up on my bed, then there's going to be cat fur all over the place. He has a cat. He has a bed in his own room. No, I don't read to him. I'll admit that. No reading. We usually have a nice breath session right before we go to bed, though. I don't know friendlier, but more clingy is the word I would use. I don't know. What do you think about a cat scooter? That sounds kind of crazy, doesn't it? I've seen dogs on a skateboard. I don't know if I've ever seen a cat on a skateboard. Well, I got a connection with this species, and that's all that really matters at this point. Okay, I got to admit, I've never seen a cat on a skateboard, or a cat board for that matter. I don't even know what that is. I at least know what a cat on a skateboard is. Paris Hilton has a video coming out too, or a documentary coming out. I guess I don't get that. Just what the world needs. Because if there's one thing that's been missing in my life up until now, it's a King Charles documentary. Another Star Wars quote I see, huh? I'm sure it'll be as accurate as Al Gore's Inconvenient Truth. Oh, here we go. Here's the skateboarding cat. Let's see here. Oh, okay. So it's just photos, huh? Okay. So there you go. Yeah, there's photographs of a skateboarding cat. Oh, you couldn't upload the video. Okay. I mean, I guess I can imagine it happening. It's not, it's very uncommon, or it's not uncommon to see like a dog skateboarding, especially like a bulldog or something like that. Seems to be a lot of that. Yeah, I heard that there are new pictures of Andrew with Epstein. I don't know. I don't really follow that much. Has no impact on my life. It's just a soap opera, and equally important. Yeah, that's why it blows me away that the Clintons are pushing to have it released. Like they're going to take Trump down on it. They're just going to take themselves down on it. Ah, yeah, it's finally all gone now. Took a long time, but it was actually kind of melted for the most part on Thursday. It's funny. I had two 5 gallon buckets full of water that froze solid, and when it got to the point where it was starting to melt a little bit, I tipped it upside down, and then there were just these big blocks of ice sitting on the patio out there, and those took about 2 days to melt completely. Yeah, I heard Bill Gates is involved in all that too. You're right. Yeah, I've had to send stuff to Canada and do the same thing, declare its value so that they can tariff it or just whatever it is. That's a good kind of morning when you can make pancakes and then go back to sleep. Okay, we finally got Susan's skateboarding cat video here, so let's check this out together. Okay, so let's see what we got. Yep, that looks like a cat. Okay, let's use. I don't want any copyright issues here. Yeah, there you go. There's a skateboarding cat. Now I've seen it all, huh? There you go. Now we've seen it all. Thanks for stopping in, Darth. It was good seeing you. Yeah, we're gonna be wrapping this up pretty quick anyway. You saw all the best parts. You're part of most of the best parts. Don't have anything planned this week. We're going to kind of do what we usually do, which is kind of figure it out as we go along. But I don't know. We'll try and do something. Maybe it's time for a cooking vlog or something. I think that would be kind of boring, a grocery vlog. Yeah, Yellowstone's going to happen at some point. It's just going to be one of those things I'm going to delay until I'm tired of delaying it, and then boom, there it'll be. Hey, that's only fun for me, Susan. I mean, if I get something specific to get there, especially if I'm, starting some big project or something like that. But usual trips to Home Depot are just things I throw in the trunk or even on the seat next to me in the car. I don't think it was cold enough long enough for the lake to freeze. That apparently happened about 100 years ago. Not the lake so much, but the river. Apparently, the river froze solid to the point where people were out walking and skating on it. I have, but I don't do it a whole bunch. They don't specifically say. Sometimes they say, on the door, "Hey, no filming or photography inside." I've never seen anything like that at Home Depot. Yeah, I do. I had white and yellow in the kitchen in California too. Um, I actually kind of wish that I kept a paint chip of the yellow that I had in California because this isn't quite it. It's good enough, but it isn't. It isn't the same as what I had in California. The one in California was a little brighter, I thought, but this is still good enough. And like I said, the white and yellow looks, I think, really nice in the kitchen. And when we get the cabinets matching, they're going to look great too. So I'm excited about that project, and probably will work on that a little bit today. A little too early for strawberry ice cream yet. I got to be able to get fresh strawberries. I don't remember exactly when I painted the kitchen in California, but it was it was many many years ago. And yes, it was Home Depot paint. Yeah, it's going to be fun to go and shoot inside of Gallery 11. Yeah, the trim was all painted by hand with just a can of paint. Maybe before that season, I don't remember exactly. Well, it's going to be definitely more than three. There's going to be a bunch of them. I don't even know yet. Yeah, I wish I remember what the color was. Anyway, all right, I'm past my 2 hour mark here, so we're gonna pull the plug on this. Head on over to Gallery 11 and hopefully shoot a nice video. Maybe pick up some fun rocks, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping in. I had a good time tonight. Good night.